Good morning, good afternoon, or even whatever time you are listening or watching this video, All Things Healing Podcast in video. I want to talk about overfunctioning. I want to talk about overfunctioning. As I was sitting here yesterday making a t-shirt for someone, I thought about something. I said, and it actually derived from my phrase of the day. I said, it's okay to put some things down in different seasons and pick them back up when you have the capacity for it. It's okay to put some things down in different seasons and pick them back up or not when you have the capacity for it. And I thought about how in the past season, I wasn't making any shirts. I was like, I'm going to just focus on getting my online store working and drop shipment stuff. Like so what I did was I delegated that to somebody else, right? I do the mock-ups, they do the printing, they do the shipping. That's what I set up, right? And then because at that time I did not have the capacity to do it all by myself. And so yesterday, I was making a shirt. I was making a design for a shirt. This is my vinyl. And I had the awareness that it's okay to put some things down in different seasons and pick them back up when you have the capacity. You don't have to do it all the time, because sometimes we may not have the capacity to do it. And we're forcing ourselves to do these things that we don't have the capacity to do it, wondering why we are burnt out and we're overwhelmed and frustrated. Could it be you're doing too much? What can you delegate? What can somebody else do? Right? Because overfunctioning, and I looked up the definition of overfunctioning because I really wanted to be clear about this right here. Overfunctioning is becoming over responsible for family, friends, colleagues, and even strangers. That's overfunctioning. So my question to you is, what areas of your life have you been overfunctioning? Is that with family? Is that with friends? Is that with colleagues or strangers? That's a question. That's a question to just sit with. And know that it is okay to put some things down in different seasons and pick them back up when you have the capacity. So in this season, I have the capacity for that. So I'm picking it back up and I'm doing what I can. If I find myself feeling burnt, if I am overwhelming myself or burning myself out, I know that season is up for that. And I need to take a pause there. That's it. Sometimes we're just so busy. And that busyness is a form of trauma. We can't sit still. You got to be doing something. Whether it's for you or somebody else, you cannot sit still, right? Where do we get that from? It's learned behavior. Growing up, I saw my mom just constantly work. I mean, she was a workaholic. And I get it. She had 3 kids. She was single. Like, I get it. And somehow that was instilled in me to just work. And sometimes I had to make myself just chill, just sit down, just do nothing. Because that used to feel like I'm being lazy. When I wasn't doing nothing, I'm being lazy. That's not true. I'm taking a break. I'm giving myself a break. May is Mental Health Month. And it should be Mental Health Year, because there's so many things that we are working through. There's so many things. Life is lifing. There are people around me that are just dealing with a lot of stuff, a lot of heavy stuff, and they don't have the capacity to do the things that they would normally do. It's a young lady who follows me on social media, and every morning, she was consistently sending me good morning messages, like a beautiful good morning message or a quote. And in this season, she shared with me that she just doesn't have the capacity. That's basically what she said. I can't tell people business, but she just doesn't have the capacity because she's dealing with a lot right now. So I know that I'm going to still send her a message first. I'm going to send her a message. I'm going to pour into her. I'm going to encourage her because I know that in this season, she doesn't have the capacity to do that. And that's okay. If you're watching this video, know that that's okay. I salute you. I commend you on noticing that and just taking a pause. She's still on social media, but not, she's not as active as she normally is. And I understand. Because when I didn't get the message, I was like, when is she okay? And then she just shared. I didn't ask, she shared. And I'm glad that she felt safe enough to share that with me. And I also know that people are going through things. And sometimes they just don't have the capacity for it. When I was in school and working and trying to, work on my business and make t-shirts and stuff, I was like, oh my God, it's too much. School is school. Like, you got a bunch of stuff going on at one time coming at you. You got assignments weekly. You have homework. You have a lot of stuff. If you're in college, a master's program, you already know you got a lot of stuff to do. On top of life, on top of marriage, on top of children, on top of everything, right? Your chores around the house. And I was just so overwhelmed and so burnt out, especially when it was time for the practicums. I was like, oh my God, it's just too much. I don't even want to do this. I realized in that moment, I had been chasing this thing that I didn't even want. I saw somebody else on the other side of that, and they were just amazing to me. They just blew my mind, the information and the wisdom that they had. And I wanted it for myself. Can I be honest? I wanted it for myself. And I would call that, I was listening to a word this morning. He doesn't call it, it's not jealousy, it's envy. You see something, you see somebody doing something and you want to do it too. So I had to be delivered from that. I don't even want that. Like, why? You're almost 2 years in on something that you don't even want because you saw somebody else do it. You wanted the same thing for you. Girl, bye. So that's me talking to me. And just awareness of the areas where I have been over-functioning and doing things that I don't want to do, that I don't have the capacity to do it. It's okay to put that stuff. If it's okay to walk away from that stuff, it's okay to quit that stuff. It's okay to give it up. And maybe you're taking a pause. Maybe you'll pick it back up in another season when you do have the capacity for it. Stop staying loyal to decisions because you made a decision and you don't want you don't want to look like, oh, well, they never finish anything or they always quit. Excuse me. None of that. None of that. That is all in your head because ain't nobody thinking about that. Ain't nobody worrying about that but you. The biggest enemy sometimes is the inner me. So this is the realization, this is the awareness that I had as I was sitting here making this shirt. And I realized that I miss making t-shirts. I miss that. I miss coming in here and turning my jazz on and just vibing out and just doing what I do. That brings me joy. So in this season, I want to do more of that. So I'm saying all that to say this. It's okay to put some things down in different seasons and pick them back up when you have the capacity for it. Over-functioning, become over-functioning. The definition of over-functioning is becoming over-responsible for family, friends, colleagues, and even strangers. Sometimes we can be everything to everybody else while we're being nothing to ourselves. Don't do that. Because you cannot pour from an empty cup. What's in your cup is for you. Anything that comes outside of that overflow is for everybody else. What happens? We giving everybody every drop of our cup. And we have nothing left. And that's when your capacity is, That's all. Hope this was helpful. Have an amazing day on purpose. Peace.